Broken Entertainment. So today, I wanted to get into, this is kind of a late video, but it's holiday. I kind of wanted to get into this whole casting a black guy as Clark Kent thing a second time. So I've talked about this before and how much I hated the idea and that I thought it was ridiculous because there's plenty of black superheroes they could have made a movie about. And there's even black Supermen they could have made a movie about. And, I kind of wasn't thinking about it for a while. And then somebody on YouTube was talking about how when people do this kind of thing and they do it just for profit, they go, yeah, we're going to recast this guy and or they say, hey, we're going to make this character and this character is insert minority thing here. And that's all they talk about. And the only reason they do that is because they think it's going to bring them in money. And I think that's highlighted very heavily by this whole movie coming out from J.J. Abrams, all right? And I really want to get into the depth of ignorance that this movie really is. Because it's not like you can't say there's black superheroes in DC Comics universe. In fact, there's more than you probably think there are. There's a lot more than you probably think they are. And yes, not all of them are popular, but you know what? You take a character and you make an awesome movie and suddenly they're popular. Let's go back a minute to Marvel. And let's talk about Iron Man. Who knew about Iron Man outside of comic book junkies before the first movie? He was not a popular character. When you thought of Marvel, you thought of Spider-Man, okay? You thought of the X-Men. You didn't think about Iron Man. Not if you were a random person on the street. They made the Iron Man movie, and you know where that went. Thor. Okay? Thor, again, not a super popular character outside of comic book fans. Movie comes out. Avengers comes out. Thor 3 comes out. Black Widow. How many people walking down the street could tell you who Black Widow was before the Avengers movies came out? You don't have to start with a popular character. You just have to make a good movie. But what they want to do is they want to make that Superman money while preaching an agenda and while saying, "Hey, we're gonna make extra money because we're gonna say this is Black Clark Kent. So see, this is your representation, and you're gonna like it because we're gonna give you the scraps left over from this white guy." That's what they're doing. And to the average person on the street, it may seem like, hey, there's not a lot of black superheroes. Never mind the examples we already have on film. Blade, for example. Storm from X-Men, another example. Never mind those, you might say, somebody off the street might say, hey, I don't know of that many black characters from DC. Maybe they just want to, giving DC the benefit of the doubt, maybe they just want to highlight some representation and put it out there because it wasn't there yet. Well, that's not true. And I've got a lot of examples, and I've got pictures of several of them that are the major characters that a lot of people know about. And that even if they don't know about them, would have made fantastic movies. These are all choices I think would be 100% better than saying, well, now Clark Kent is a minority. Because when you do that, you're just saying, here's the scraps, take it. Instead of saying, here's an awesome character whose skin color happens to be this. Like they did with Blade. When Blade came out, none of the advertising, none of the media conversation, none of the discussion around the movie was, well, finally, some representation. It was just, hey, Wesley Snipes, superhero, action movie, killing vampires. Sign me up. Okay, great movies, Blade. But let's go ahead. I have here, this is Wikipedia, so I understand some reservations people can have about Wikipedia, but this is the easiest format to get all these together on. And if you have a better one, let me know. This is a list of every black superhero made by DC Comics, and I'm going to go through every single one of them because I want to get this point across. They chose to make a movie in which Clark Kent is a minority for a reason, and it has nothing to do with storytelling. So let's get into the list, and then we'll get into the top names, and we'll get into the real absurdity behind all this. But let's start with the A's. We have, and I wouldn't necessarily call Amanda Waller a superhero, but we have Amanda Waller. Amazing Man, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Aqualad, The Atom, August Durant, a version of Batman, Batwing, Batwing 2, Betty Clawman, Big Thunder, Black Eagle, Black Lightning, Black Racer, The Black Spider, Black Vulcan, Black Wing, Blindside, Blob, Bloodsport, Bloodwind, Bronze Tiger, Bumblebee, Carl Durham, Captain Marvel, Carla White, Cascade, Cat's Paw, Centaur, Chunk, Coldcast, The Commander, Computo 2, Conjura, Crispus Allen, Crimson Avenger 3, Crimson Avenger Earth 2, Crystallix, Cyborg. I wonder where I've heard of that name before. I can't put my finger on it where this name's come up. Let's go on. Dale Gunn, Darla Dudley, Data, Dawn, Dawnfire, Dr. Midnight, Dr. Mist, Earthstrike, Empress, Fairelise Zululu, 4D, one of the versions of Firestorm, Flex and Thermal, Flipper Dipper. I've never heard of Flipper Dipper. Oh, it's from Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen in 1970. All right, Jack Kirby. Well, there you go. Freedom Beast, Freight Train, Gary Washington, Gear, Ghost Lion, Glenn Gameron, Gravedigger, Gravedigger 2, one of the Green Arrows, Green Lantern, specifically John Stewart. We'll mention him again. Grover Baines, Gus Gary, one of the versions of Hawkgirl. You could argue two of the versions of Hawkgirl, but that's an argument. Healer Randolph, Hero Cruz, Hungan, never heard of that one either. Let's see where he's from. 1981, yeah. Impala, Invisible Kid 2, Iron, Jackie Johnson, Jakeem Thunder, Jet, Jim Corrigan, Jody, Joshua Power, Jodo Hotspot, Kid Impala, Juice, Kid Quantum 2, King Peacock, Lady Liberty 3, Lightning, Machiste? Haven't heard of that one either. Manhattan Guardian, Maximum, Mabules? Super Friends, huh? Okay, yep. Some of these are going to be like Z-listers, but this is the full list. So, Micromade, Microwavable. You know, some of the old superheroes just kill me. Alright, Mr. Bones, Mr. Miracle 3, Mr. Miracle 2, Muhammad Ibn Bornu, Molo, Mongrel, Muhammad X, Indoki, New Moon, Northwind, Nubia. Nubia's come back around too. She's Wonder Woman's black twin. Obatala, Lord of the White Cloth, Onyx, Orpheus, Pantha, Percival Hazard, Philippus, Ralph Jackson, Rocket, Rupert Zambesi Kinboya, Russian Silence, Samosa, Scrap, Sela, Seraph, Shango the Thunderer, Chandra Kinsolving, The Signal, Sir Gawain, Skitter, Skyrocket, Sojourner, The Solution, Sonic, The Spectre, Starboy, Starboy again, Steel. This is another guy we're going to talk about later. Steel Vaporlock, Static, Superman Earth 23, also known as Calvin Ellis. So, pause. We already had a Superman they could have made a movie about. Oh, but wait. Superman Earth 2, Val Zod. There's another one. And you want to tell me they're not doing this for greed and to push an agenda? Stoneyard, Strix, A Harvey Dent Superman. That's Tangent Comics. That's a super outlier there. No pun intended. Sin, Tattooed Man, Technocrat, Ted and Terry Trapper, Tempest, Thunder, Thunderfall, Tyrock, Underground, Vixen. We'll talk about her. Vox, Viking, Wilson Forbes, Wonder Woman, DC versus Marvel #4, so that's a one-off. Wonder Woman of Earth 23, also known as another version of Nubia. Wildheart, Zero, XS, Zeke. And we're gonna make Clark Kent the guy. You just saw the list. Just went through it all. It's just DC. Now let's really get into the weeds of how dumb this is. What they could have done. If you wanted to say, okay, well, we really want to make a Superman movie and we really want representation for black Americans in our Superman movie. Okay. So what are your options? One, you can recast Clark Kent. Two, you can go to Calvin Ellis right here. An already existing Superman with his own story and his own personality and his own background and his own reason for being. Val Zod from Earth 2. Now someone might say, well, these are from alternate Earths. Well, a lot of this stuff is coming from alternate Earths, and including potentially the Superman movie. We don't know yet. And that shouldn't matter anyway. And get into our list. So here is Steel. Look at the screen if you're not. This is Steel. This is John Henry. He is a man who's a black American who took up the mantle of Steel, created his own awesome power suit to be a cool hammer-wielding badass after Superman died. Could have done a movie about him. Fact, if you wanted, you could have tied it into the Snyderverse and had it take place during the period between Superman's death and Superman's rebirth, or even after Superman's rebirth. Because Steel continues after Superman comes back in the comics. Aqualad. This is Batwing. Black Lightning. He's a major character, actually. I don't know who this guy is. I can't quite put my finger on. I feel like he was in a movie that DC made, and then he was going to be in another movie, like a standalone kind of thing, but for some reason that's totally innocent, all of his scenes were cut from the one movie, and then when he talked about it, his entire other movie got... I can't quite put my name or put my finger on what character... Cyborg. There it is. Cyborg. It's almost like you could have done a movie about Cyborg, isn't it? Here's Earth 2 Hawkgirl. She's awesome. And you haven't introduced Hawkgirl yet. Here is Val Zod, Calvin Ellis, John freaking Stewart. John Stewart is awesome. Now, he may be getting a movie we don't know yet. But he's a very popular character. And a lot of people, when they think of Green Lantern, they think of John Stewart. Vixen. These are major characters, okay? They're not all A-listers, but that doesn't matter because neither was Iron Man, okay? You don't have to be instantly recognizable to have a successful, popular movie. How many people do you think knew who Blade was? These are all doable movies. These are all characters that are either popular already or could be very popular. Not to say nothing about the list I read off earlier. This lays bare the ignorance of the Superman movie we're getting. Because every one of these characters pictured here could make an awesome movie and would be popular if you did it well, regardless of recognition. Some of them could be tied directly into Superman. But no. No, they had to go a specific direction, partly out of greed and partly because they wanted to pat themselves on the back. You know? Oh yeah, look at look what we did. Look what we did for representation, yo. You know, the counter to this is Black Panther. Black Panther is a very popular movie from Marvel. Black Panther, again, not a character anybody had really heard of on the street. Very well done movie. Very popular, made a lot of money. So, next time somebody asks, why are you doing this with Superman? And they tell you it's because it needs to be a popular character to be effective, call them on their bullshit. There's already movies that prove them wrong. And there's plenty of characters that DC has that are strong characters on their own, that have cool power sets and great backstories. So don't let them get away with it. And don't let anybody defend that decision. Because it's not defensible. To me, it's an absolute crime. It's not just, hey, look, they're recasting somebody again. They're reimagining another character, and by that they mean they're race swapping them. It's taking a character that everybody knows. Everybody basically on the planet that has ever heard of superheroes has heard of Clark Kent and Superman. And it's saying, we could push our agenda pretty far if we cast him as a black guy. I have all these examples, including 2 Supermen with interesting backstories all their own. But no, I gotta make it Clark Kent. I'd call it lazy, but it's worse than lazy. When you have this and this, it's not just lazy. It's a lot worse than lazy. So let me know what you think in the comments below, and let me know which of these characters you would like to see in a movie, in their own standalone movie. For me, personally, Earth 2 Hawkgirl. I'm a giant Hawkgirl fan. I would love to see Earth 2 Hawkgirl in a movie. She has her own personality. She's distinct from the other Hawkgirls and is pretty awesome. She's got all kinds of awesome guns and stuff. I would love that. In fact, the entire Earth 2 story arc would be pretty cool in a series of movies. But that alone, Earth 2 Hawkgirl, barring an Earth 2 Hawkgirl, I gotta go to Jon Stewart. When I think of Green Lantern, I think Jon Stewart. This guy is a Marine. He's a hard ass. He's awesome. He's one of the most accomplished Green Lanterns in the history of the Green Lantern Corps. Would love to see a movie done by him, about him. Well, let me know what you think in the comments. If you like the video, please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Hit the bells for notifications. And I will see you next time.